May the 26th, and it's briefing time. No changes in the National Terrorism Advisory System overnight, or for you that are joining us over the long weekend. Snapshot of the region this morning. You see the updated numbers from the unaccompanied children down the Rio Grande Valley. We do have one declaration request in process. Damage assessments are ongoing. Texas for IA, and Arkansas and Oklahoma for PA. And no fire management grant request to talk about this morning. Now as we switch over to the geo platform. For the first time in a while, we have no significant rain in the region. Tim from the Weather Service is going to talk about that in just a moment. EOC status this morning: New Mexico is at level 4, Oklahoma level 3, Arkansas level 3, Louisiana level 4, and Texas is at level 1, and they expect to try and scale down today sometime to rest their personnel. Here at the watch, we are at enhanced watch, and the national watch is at normal operation. No changes to the status of our IMAPs. Looking at power outages this morning, we had another round of severe weather come through yesterday, which has kicked our power outage numbers up. Texas is experiencing about 150,000 power outages right now. Oklahoma, 3,000, Louisiana, 30,000, and Arkansas, 18,500. We expect those to begin to trend back down again this morning as recovery continues. Looking at status of shelters this morning, Texas has 11 shelters with 9 occupants. And now over to Tim to tell us about the weather.
All right, well, good morning. As Paul mentioned, you can see there are a few showers that are still lingering up in Oklahoma and some thunderstorms moving through Louisiana at this time. That area in Louisiana did produce areas of up to 10 inches of rain in Houston this morning and some significant flooding. But we are going to get a little bit of a break over the next couple days from the rainfall accumulations that we've had. And then we'll see some rain come back in on Thursday. Our main threat today is just potential for some severe thunderstorms up in central and north Texas towards the Panhandle, extending into western Oklahoma, and then those lingering flash flooding in Louisiana. We will see a severe threat continue into the Texas Panhandle and western Oklahoma into tomorrow, and then that will decrease in intensity throughout the week. However, we are seeing another area of fairly heavy rain moving in on Thursday into Friday, and then slowly shifting eastward along north-central Texas along the Red River. So other than that, the big threat, the continuing occurrence of major flooding along the rivers in Texas and South Oklahoma at this time. If we move on to the next slide. Currently, mostly this morning, the greens that you see there are from the river flooding, and we had some areas of very dense fog this morning, and those are dense fog advisories there. Next slide, please. Just highlighting that's the area of severe weather risk that we talked about, as well as the flash flooding today, and then the flooding along the Nueces, potentially along the Trinity and the Red River continuing. As you can see here, on Tuesday into Wednesday, maybe a few showers, but really the big hit is a little bit later in the week as you look at the 5-day totals, again occurring along that Texas-Oklahoma border. So we'll have the continuing threat there that we'll be monitoring, and of course the River Forecast Center will be updating their forecasts as we go throughout the week. I only included the updated current river status slide from this morning. You can see quite a few areas in moderate to major flooding. And I included yesterday's package that was delivered to the Texas Department of Emergency Management on the river flooding conditions. That will be updated again this morning, and I'll send that out sometime after about 10:30. Next slide. As we mentioned, and there's a slight typo there, that the severe thunderstorms are expected over the Panhandle on Wednesday, and the heavy rain really is more of a Thursday threat, and although you see it's about in the right area highlighted there. Next slide. No changes to the drought monitor, although obviously if we get the rain again in those areas, continuing improvement in western Texas is expected. And a relatively quiet sun, maybe a slight increase in chances of geomagnetic stronger storms as we get into the Thursday time frame.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. If you happen to have a question for the Weather Service, go ahead and type that in the chat window. If you're on the phone and you have a question, just go ahead and ask it. In the meantime, we will take a look at the events around the region this week. Today's events are highlighted there in bold. And flooding is the most widespread natural disaster aside from wildfires. And there's a picture of playing in the flood, and when your dog goes out and gets you a big fish like that, thank you. Any questions this morning? All right, hearing nothing on the phone, seeing nothing in the chat window. Everyone have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.